Dun, 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 dun. Hey, welcome to the 310 QuickPod. My name is Kris Germain. I'm the owner of CrossFit 310, and with me is the famous, very famous Paolo Stuppa, longtime member of CrossFit 310, founder of Performance T, GORUCK, supporter, more than supporter. GORUCK. Shoot, we're going to start this interview right now. How do you describe you and GORUCK?
Wow, we've got a history. It probably goes back 5+ years. Yeah, I've done probably over 24 events ranging from 12, 24, 42 hours. And, it's fun to watch the CrossFit Games and to see actually GORUCK involved in the CrossFit. It's going more mainstream. For a while, I thought I was the only weirdo around here.
So funny. That's how CrossFit started. Yeah. We were the only weirdos for a while. So listen, let's do the audience a favor. People in our box, anybody who stumbles across this, what is GORUCK?
Yeah, in a nutshell, it's an amazing organization. It was founded by a bunch of guys in special forces. A ruck is a pack in the military. You walk with the pack. Typically, it's full of a lot of weight. With GORUCK, you use plates, 5, 10, 20, 30 plus pound weights, and you carry around a lot of weight. It's a great way to exercise. There's a lot of events that they organize around the world. Actually, it's a team event, which is great, and it's a great way to really test yourself and, more importantly, work as a team, just like in CrossFit.
So this is one of the reasons why we're talking today is this morning, right? We saw an event in the CrossFit Games that included rucking. Is that right?
That's right.
Is that this morning? And to which I immediately thought of you, and I'm sure many people did, but it was great to see two things that you have held together. You have held CrossFit and you have held rucking. SEALFIT is part of this overall kind of training that you are also a part of inside of here, but you've held those things very close. In fact, one of the things that we share, which probably is going to be our next, we could just turn this thing off and turn it back on. We could start our next QuickPod, which will be the gym as a dojo.
That's right.
That is something, that is our native language. That this place, even though we exercise in it, we are doing gym stuff in here. It is much more like a dojo in the way that we train, and the process of going from novice to expert with what you are in your body. So those two things were thrust together in the spotlight today in the CrossFit Games. And which totally delighted you, and it surprised a lot of people inside of the CrossFit Games, meaning what happens to people. I think you quoted, did you say the founder? I haven't seen it yet, the broadcast yet, but you quoted the founder who had said something that sounded much like you.
Yeah, he said, Jason McCarthy said that, being under load, will talk to your soul, essentially. And if you look at the WOD they did, it was pretty gnarly. It escalated in weight, and you could see that people were struggling.
Yeah. And
it's amazing. It's a testament to what the folks do in special forces in terms of the load they got to carry, just the circumstances they work under, and continue to do it. It's nice for them to share that with civilians, even participate now in the CrossFit Games for the people to understand, what that's like. And, it's very gratifying.
Yeah.
It's humbling.
Yeah. Almost everything that we get involved in here is humbling. We just got done working out, and because of our friendship together, I chose the more humbling thing to do today. You did a workout Thrusters are not my jam by any means. Anybody who has been around this gym will have had a laughable moment while watching me do thrusters. It just kills me, inefficiencies. But we shared that last week. I coached you in a class, and you're like, oh, it's time for you to do it. And I was like, I'm going to the beach. But because you came in today and because we have a friendship like this, you are one of the people that I want to be around all the time because of our friendship and because of the daring things that you do. You challenge me to do harder things. Very simple. It's like it was 8 minutes of work today, but I wouldn't have done it had you not been here. I would have chose something else. So, that for me, like to kind of like pull some of the things from the beginning of this with us. What me and you are here to talk about, I think, today is what happens on your insides when we're doing some of these things. Because bumping into fears, bumping into the edge of what you perceive as pain or uncomfortable allows you to learn something. And you speak about that all of the time. In fact, we rarely talk about a physical thing that is happening that is not immediately attached to something that we are learning about ourselves or afraid of that we did. I mean, that is how you speak. And that is definitely one of the reasons I know that you sign up for hard things all of the time. So, that's what I want to hear about a little bit from you. What is it, in a nutshell, if we can even just try to pin it down, or what's the first thing that comes to your head? Like, why do GORUCK? Why do you want me to do a GORUCK? Which I totally don't want to do.
Yeah, I've talked a couple people into it. First off, it's different than doing a marathon or an Ironman or triathlon or any individual sport. It's really a team sport. So you show up and you can prep for it, and there might be someone that didn't prep for it. At the end of the day, the way it works is it's a team event, and you'd be surprised how quickly complete strangers become your best friends, and how quickly there isn't anything you would do to not help them so that they don't quit. And that's amazing human dynamic, and it's hard to put a price on it.
Yeah.
We're in a really selfish Me Too world, and there's just a lot of natural love there. And in pain, there's a lot of suffering too. And, in that suffering, right, you find a lot of answers, and you never know what's going to pop up. So it's just a good experience all around to make new friends, to find a little bit about yourself, to maybe work something out, and to really test yourself. It's not like you can ring the bell and quit or walk out of the box or the gym or just stop, because you've got a lot of other people that are struggling, and without you, they may not make it. So it's a really interesting dynamic when you get into these team-oriented events, and you're under a lot of load and a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it's really gratifying. Not that you completed, but that you did something with a bunch of strangers, and without everyone there working together, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. So it's powerful.
We, as you say that, I see you, we do team WODs on Saturdays, to which you show up a lot too, you and Paul Holtshoe and my wife and a number of other people that like, they speak that language. That's Paul's always, that's his favorite thing, is to come on team day. And I think one of the things that I love about doing something with a team, the most fearful thing about partnering with somebody, and why some people don't come to Saturday workouts, is they don't want to slow somebody down. It's the number one thing. But I know somebody has the idea of true team wrapped around their head when I'll walk up to you and I'll be like, hey, do you have a partner that you already, that you want to go with? And that's fine. If you're like, oh, me and Paul are here and we want to play and we want to do that, I leave that open. But you and Paul and Tani and Maytal, and there's a list of people that I have. They'd partner with anybody. They're like,
That's right.
You tell me who to go to and I'll go with. Because, and it's not even like you're in superior shape, but it's not because you're in such good shape that you can carry whoever on your back. It's not that. It's that you're willing to do whatever when the team needs it. So you get to relieve your teammate of, okay, I'm going to do this, you're going to do that. That's when team workouts go terrible, unless they happen to be the exact same athlete. You know what I mean? Like you say, oh, we're just going to split it down the middle. But like when your team is going and it's clear that they're slowing down and they're running out of energy, for a teammate to say, I'm ready, do you need me? Or drop it, I got it. Do you know? And then they'll do that for you somewhere else. And that is the beauty of training. We just train with little bits of that. You know, we do 15, 20, half-hour WODs like that. But if I'm hearing it right, you're going to find those moments all over in a 6-hour or 12-hour or whatever, you know, however long. Is that right?
Yeah, that is. I mean, and I absolutely, my favorite WODs are the partner WODs, and I will work out with anyone. And I think one of the reasons that it's so gratifying to me is I've found this balance within the WOD between competition and collaboration. And it's this delicate balance where, you know, the individual you're with is going to push themselves as hard as they can, and you're going to push yourself as hard as you can, right? And that's the competition part. You're going to do the best you can, right? And then the collaboration is everything that comes in the middle.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, it's very gratifying. It's hard to replicate anywhere else when you're able to find that and you could do it with anyone.
Yeah, I love what you just said. Some things that are hard to replicate. There'll be times when we're training that I'll go to an athlete, and you have to say it quickly and succinctly, and it doesn't always work. But sometimes I'll be like, this is the moment. This moment right here is not easily replicated. But this is where you'll find yourself in a competition, or this is where you'll find yourself in the hard thing. And it's this moment right here. You just see what you can do. And I like asking the question, can you? That I certainly shout, you can, all the time. I do. But sometimes when I say, can you, and I leave it open, they have to ask themselves that, and then what happens inside of that moment? And then you get this training moment, and you're waiting for it for 15 or 17 minutes of the workout because you had to wait to that fifth round in that thing. And maybe it was, we may have said it last week to you. I may have alluded to it last week on round number 4 because we did 4 rounds of those 2 minutes. But you got done with the third, and it was that fourth round that you, like, this is the training moment. This is the one. And you talk to yourself differently. And you just see, how does your body respond in that moment? Yeah, so we're always looking for that. And I love talking to you about stuff like this because you're looking for that. And I also feel like when we are in class together, I feel like sometimes you appreciate me reminding you of that moment, which is awesome. Like, not everybody necessarily wants to be reminded of that, but it's like, oh yeah, I forgot to ask myself if I can do more, because I could.
That's right.
And I feel like you stumble onto that all the time. You are just ready to see. Let's go see.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I ask myself every day, and again, we live in this world where everything is just, it's not really a reality that you're looking at. You know, everyone's like a superhero doing amazing things, and I just think about things that are attainable, being relatable, right, and things that are aspirational, right? So, and a lot of this, you know, I think about my kids and the way I talk to my kids, and it's the little things that matter. So, for instance, when I come in here and I'm in that 4th round, I think to myself, okay, every single day I'm looking for my personal best, right? The SEALs always say, what'd you do today to earn your trident, right? Doesn't mean you got to run from here to Malibu and back in 2 hours. doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you got to turn the dial just a little bit more. So if you did, if you did that 4th round and you do one more rep, then that's your new personal best. And you went into it with intention, right? And then tomorrow's a new day. Something new will approach you. It could be something around gratitude or somewhere else. But I think every day what I do, to earn my personal best, right? It's a little incremental moves, not the big things, right? There are some big things we do. But I find if I'm able to do the little things, they add up over time. And for me, it makes it more fun.
Let me ask you this. How do you coach or talk to somebody who doesn't make it? What if the personal best doesn't happen on that? Do you miss your trident that day, or how do you talk to them about that? What if they don't get that extra rep? What if they fall short of that? How do you talk to them about that?
Well, there's intent, right? There's, you have a goal, and sometimes you don't miss the goal, but you're moving towards the goal. Right. So tomorrow's a new day. Pick yourself up, right? Get your head in the right place, and go for it again tomorrow, right? Or something new. Just keep moving, right? As they say, fail forward,
right?
Quitting is not an option, right? As long as, and sometimes you just want to quit. Quitting's easy, right? And it's hard. I mean, you're a coach, and you see it, and you know what people's potential are, and I think part of being a coach is understanding the potential's there and getting them to believe it. And once they believe it, that's when all the amazing things happen, right? So just, keep going.
Let's do something that we had talked about getting in today. We do icebreakers inside of class, and we were like, because we have like 10,000 things that we could talk about at any time. Me and Paolo could stay in here all day and talk about 100 different things with passion.
Even Kenny Loggins.
That's right. Who showed up in class today? That was amazing. The danger zone got us. So we do icebreakers just to get to know each other, and also to break into bigger conversations every now and then, and some of them are just silly and fun so that we can know that about each other too. But there were a couple of some with more intent and more weight to them. So one of them that you wanted to talk about was, what is the first thing that you do in the morning? That was either Tuesday or Wednesday's icebreaker. What's the first thing that you do in the morning, Paolo Stuppa?
Yeah, so the first thing I do before my feet hit the ground is I practice gratitude. So right away I rattle off 3 things I'm grateful for right then and there. And it could be as simple as, today I rolled out and I saw how beautiful the day was. So I'm thankful that I live in a place that has amazing weather, right? And then it just goes from there. It's just a great way to start off the day. And that's the first thing I do in the morning. It takes 10 secones.
Yep. I think that's a good practice. There's a lot of talk around gratitude right now, which is awesome. It is a great thing to practice, and the evidence of what that does mentally to put you into a rhythm and just a general tendency towards joy, which is different than happiness. The idea that you could feel joy even during a time that is difficult is pinned underneath gratitude, rather than feeling happy because something good just happened to you. And we're all talking and thinking about happiness, but what we really want probably is joy, a joy that you can't, it's unbreakable, and that way you can go through hard things. You can be a very difficult time, but what the talk is and what the social research is saying is that people who are grateful are able to experience joy. This morning was there's probably a lot of grateful this morning in Redondo Beach, because I also had the same thing. I was just like, holy moly, we are lucky to live in this place. Yeah. It was amazing.
Yep.
My little son curled up on my lap this morning, and it's a gorgeous summer day, and yeah, I got 2. I'll have to think of a third. Yeah. Just joking. The other thing that we were going to touch on is another icebreaker, which I'm launching out into the universe. The Monday's icebreaker question was, if it wasn't for fear, you would ...
Da-da-da-da.
I had to think about it. Sometimes, even though I'm coaching, I don't have my answers preset. But then it hit me right in there, and for sure, I was like, I would do a GORUCK with Paolo, and to label the fear that is there, for sure. You have asked me to. That's your number one thing that you want us to do, is you want me to go with you on one of those. And yeah, there's not one cell in my body that wants to do that. Sorry, I tell you, there is only one cell in my entire body, and it is the friendship cell with Paolo. And that is the only one that's like, you love this guy, let's do this. And everybody else is like, shh, 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 shh. So that is, we'll have to see. This is launching us into the odyssey of the future.
Well, now the two have come together. I mean, I almost think as a coach you have no choice,
yeah,
right?
You did. Yeah. He sends me a message this morning that said the universe has sent you a sign. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
And there are a couple brave souls in the box that have.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. That's and sorry, you wanted to do this immediately, to which I said absolutely. But one of our great friends, a guy who's in the box. Now he didn't do a GORUCK, right? He do a SEAL Fit.
Yeah, he did a SEAL Fit event.
Yeah, Anil Menon did a SEAL Fit event. It's a big deal. What's it called?
It's called Kokoro. It's the hardest event they do, and probably one of the hardest endurance events, on the planet.
Big deal.
It's a 52-plus hour event modeled after Hell Week, and they put you through it. And he graduated class of '54. I'm so proud of him.
Hell Week meaning Navy SEALs.
Yeah,
and
it's modeled after that.
Yeah,
and, it's no joke.
Yeah, and they're not telling you you're doing great, you can do this.
Yeah,
they're talking to you different.
Oh yeah. I'm class 44, and I remember being before jumping in the ocean for about 8 hours in the middle of the night after, I don't know, I was probably 30 plus hours in. They're there with blankets and hot coffee, and looking for. The cadre was just looking for 3 quitters, and that was it. And
did you just say hot coffee?
Oh, hot coffee.
You don't want me there. I would have been like, I got it. You got it.
Yeah, it'll test every fiber of
blanket and hot
system,
coffee.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's the first thing I do every morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So shout out to Neil, man.
Oh my gosh.
Well done.
Yep. So you sent me a text and you were like, it is an honor. It's quite an honor to have 2 people in one gym that would have gone through this big deal.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about this place. Obviously, you know how special I think it is, and it's how do you train for something like that, and this place helped me through it and helped Neil through it, and I think that's amazing.
You guys are a special breed. Our time is up. It is time to sign off this thing. We're gonna have to do this again sooner than later.
Yes.
This is the 310 QuickPod. Thank you guys for watching / listening. This is Paolo Stuppa, my great friend, and you will see him again. Follow us on YouTube and check out our site, CrossFit310.com, and Performance T.
That's right.
This man has got this great product. He's got a great company that is pursuing athletes and trying to do great things with people. And you talk to people through this Performance T about all this stuff that we're talking about right here. So
yeah, that's right. Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy.